Peace and black power. Peace and black power. Y'all know what it is. It's Underground Warrior TV. I'm back with another video. I'm Mr. Underrated. They hate it. They try to keep me from succeeding with this channel. They try to keep their foot on my neck. But you know me, I'm a man that know how to maneuver. I study arts of war. That's what I do. I'm going to make sure this message get out today. I need my people's help today. Can I get some likes? Can I get some shares on this particular channel? Can I get somebody to subscribe to Underground Warrior TV? It seems that YouTube and a few haters, you know, they want to keep me, you know, underneath. They don't want me to rise. I know what it is because I'm spilling the truth. Nothing but the truth. You feel me? I'm popping nothing but the truth on this channel. That's why it's so underrated. They hate it. You feel me? I'm not being promoted like Charleston White. I'm not being promoted like a Kansas Orange. You feel me? Because I'm not talking in the behalf of destroying my people. As long as I speak on unifying my people up under one umbrella of a Pan-African movement, then I'm automatic public enemy number one. Because the way that I be coming. You know what I'm saying? Check this out, y'all. This is a very wicked world we live in. This is a very wicked world that we live in. Some 215 bodies were found in a pauperous cemetery in Raymond, Mississippi, located just outside of Jacksonville. These graves are marked with metal rods and numbers. These grave sites were created, intended for people who have no family. Unidentified remains. But according to relatives, they were never contacted by the Mississippi Jackson police. The revelation began, y'all, when I did a video based on Dexter Wade's death in March of 2023. He was hit subsequently, supposedly, by a Mississippi police off duty who accidentally ran over him. Since he didn't have no identification, according to them, they couldn't notify his next of kin, even though his next of kin had which is Dexter Wade's mother, who put out a missing report out on Dexter. But the officers didn't reveal that they knew who Dexter was really, because Dexter's brother was subsequently killed by the police department. So she had a lawsuit. So they knew who this young fellow was. He was 37 years old. His family was not informed of his death, just like the 215 other or 214 other people who were not notified. 215 bodies were found in a cemetery behind a jail, the Jackson, Mississippi jail. Civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, representing the family of Mario Moore and Dexter Wade and Jonathan Haskins, who were all buried in this cemetery, in this particular cemetery. Something is sinister going on here. You can't tell me that 215 bodies, remains of people and their families was not notified. Mother of 3 missing men found in a grave. Benjamin Crump has been hired by the family of a 39-year-old Jonathan David, who was reported missing to Rankin County, Jackson, July 2022 at Motel 6. This past December the 6th is when Jonathan Davis' relatives were notified that he may have been one of the people who were in these unmarked, well, they marked by numbers, were in these graves with no names. They just marked with metal poles and numbers. Mario Moore subsequently was found beaten to death, according to the police. How do we know that these people actually died from how they say they died? Dexter Wade dies from being hit, according to the police, from an off-duty police accidentally runs over him, but the family is not notified, even though the police department is well aware of the Wade family. The Wade family has a lawsuit, did have a lawsuit lodged against the police department for slamming Dexter Wade's brother to the concrete, killing him just like they killed Freddie Gray in that manner in Baltimore. A lot of people say he went on a rough ride, but it was the white police who slammed him to the concrete. And you know what, family? I seen one article where they trying to make this a multicultural grave site of individuals. Keep this in mind. You better believe that the majority of those people who are dead in those grave sites, that 215 grave sites, I bet you 90% of those remains belong to black people. We're talking about Mississippi. We're talking about Mississippi. Yeah, there are some white remains. We know that there is at least one white remains in these graves. But it doesn't make no difference. The police is responsible. How is the police responsible? Because they have inmates at this jail dig these graves. And what's so bad about these graves? They shallow graves, and you know that the buzzards, nature is calling from the buzzards, the ravens, not the ravens, the buzzards are called the vultures. It smells so bad. This is unprofessional. Something's going on more sinister than just people being accidentally killed and they don't know who is who. They purposely, intentionally not notifying the families. Do you hear me? They're purposely not notifying the death of their loved ones. That's why I say it's something more sinister. It could be organ harvesting, stealing body parts. These are male individuals. They say the grave sites are filled with male individuals. If that's true, something is going on. Check this video out.
An unsettling situation in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi to be exact. It's been revealed 215 bodies were buried in unmarked graves behind a state jail in Jackson, of course. Attorney Ben Crump is now calling for an investigation. Families of the dead reportedly had no idea until last month. Some of them, those grave sites were only labeled by a number and a metal rod. Joining us to talk about it, activist Arthur Silky Slim Reed, who also works with Ben Crump.
So, Arthur, this started with Dexter Wade's case back in March, right? He was an individual who was hit by a police officer, and his family thought he was simply missing, but he was dead and buried, and no one notified them.
Well, the thing about it is that he had identification on him, Isaiah. And the medical examiner gave it to the lead detective, who said he called, didn't get an answer, and they didn't worry about doing anything else. What we're finding, Isaiah, is that Mississippi is Mississippi. It's an ugly Mississippi. And this is sad because now we have 6 other individuals that has been put into this same grave. And if you look at the video from when we first went to that site, buzzards were flying overhead. And we were trying to figure out, why are the buzzards flying overhead? But it's because they're putting them in shallow graves, and the only thing that they're putting them in is a body bag without embalming the bodies. So the stench from the bodies are drawing buzzards there. It's so inhumane for anybody to do anyone like that, Isaiah, is just horrible is what we can say. And that's not even a word that we should use in a situation like this. It's something that we haven't seen.
And what we're seeing here is over 200 people in this, what they consider a pauper's grave behind the county jail there. And what you guys are learning in your investigation is many of these families were never called, were never notified. Many of them still think their family members or thought their family members were simply missing, but they were dead and buried and never got a call from any investigators, any law enforcement officials or authorities in Jackson, Mississippi.
That's right. And one of the things that we faced being Mississippi is that they thought that we were playing the race card. We have white clients as well. There were white people that were buried the same way, Isaiah. And any human being that's buried the way that they're burying these individuals, it says a lot about the people that's doing this criminal act. And the only thing that we're asking, because people always look at us when we're out fighting for civil rights of individuals, the only thing that we're asking in this case, we want you to do the right thing and give them a humane burial. And the city is, so it's crazy, Isaiah, to see something like that. It's 2023. It's not 1940. But to see them just dumping bodies in a grave like that, and no name, just a number. So they'll say, well, number 13, that's Arthur Reed. Number 21 is Isaiah Carey. But we don't really know until we get the remains. And then the remains had decomposed so bad, we just have to take them at their word. And when you look at the story, they told us that they would exhume this body at 12 noon, but they ended up taking this young man, Dexter Wade, out of the ground at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. They say, we were not going to allow them to embarrass us with those cameras. If you're not embarrassed by what you're doing, it's shame on you.
Absolutely incredible. Now, you guys, along with Ben Crump and I think Attorney Dennis Sweet, you all are asking for a federal investigation, that the feds come in and take a look at this and see exactly what's going on, because there's some questions as to Dexter Wade's death when he was hit by the police officer. Whatever happened with the officer in this case? And why wasn't his family ever notified that he was dead and not just a missing person? So bottom line, you want an investigation, right?
We think many civil rights were violated in Dexter Wade's case, not notifying the family, burying him without permission when you knew who he was. That's the key issue right there. You knew who this individual was. And if you look at the Dexter Wade case, it's sad, but Dexter Wade's uncle was killed by Jackson police, and they knew the family because they was involved in an ongoing lawsuit with that family, with Attorney Sweets, who you're talking about. So this is very, very, very troubling for us for you to know this family already, and for you to do something like this. This was adding insult to already injury that you had done to this family, Isaiah.
I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised at this situation dealing with this massive grave site of 215 people who were somehow unalive and nobody was notified from their family. Just like with the Dexter Wade case. It took a disturbing turn when it was revealed that he had identification on him. This is how I know something's going on sinister. This identification was given to the lead detective by medical examiners. However, the detective claimed to have called without receiving an answer. He called the family of Dexter Wade, and his family did not answer the lead detective. So they gave him a burial. The police did. They buried this brother, Dexter Wade. I did a video maybe a couple months ago about this situation. It didn't do too good. Nobody liked it. Nobody shared it. Nobody viewed it. You know, that's the kind of hate I get on this channel, but I'm gonna keep on delivering. But like I say, that is troubling. That is deep, and that is very disturbing. That the lead detective got the ID and knew exactly who this brother was and refused to inform his family. So, hope people get justice in this case. I don't see no real live outcry from the government of the United States of America. This is a state of emergency. Joe Biden has not addressed this situation. This is very deep. That's why I know majority of this mass grave site have nothing but the black race who suffered at the hands of white supremacy. They got something going on. The majority of people in those graves are black. That's why nobody cares. No one has no empathy. The police is allowed to get away with this. The police is involved with this. Trust me, the Jackson, Mississippi Ku Klux Klan police are involved with this situation. why not notify family members of their loved ones who have made a transition to the spiritual world? People who have died. What's going on? Something sinister, I'm telling you. I think it's got to do with organ, body parts, people selling organs on the black market. And like they say, in the movie Get Out, it's a scene in the movie where the guy Chris was strapped down and a rich white man was going to take his eyes in the movie Get Out. And he asked him, why black bodies? Why black body parts? They're more sufficient. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not surprised to hear about this 215 bodies found behind Mississippi County Jail. Mississippi Jackson County Jail. I'm not surprised. That's Mississippi. That's where they killed Emmett Till. You feel what I'm saying? This is where they decapitated men in 2023. This is Mississippi. Racist Mississippi. Hey, mash up the like, share this video. Peace and black power.